Let's go across to Sri Lanka now, the South Asian country witnessing its biggest economic crisis since its independence. And to add to its woes, the political stability is only continuing to worsen. But it is the people who are paying the price here, with no jobs, crashing economy and an uncertain future. The youth is out on the streets. The weeks-long protests are dominated by young women and men voicing their demands. First and foremost, the end of the Rajapaksa era. Today on Labour Day, protests are planned across the country. So far, both Prime Minister and President have refused to step down. Even if an interim government is formed, Mahinda Rajapaksa is adamant that nobody but only he will lead the transitional government. So the opposition has also decided to take matter in their own hands. Sri Lanka's leader of opposition has confirmed that they will table a no-confidence motion against the Rajapaksa government. During the next parliamentary session, remember, an impeachment motion was also signed against the president. The situation is dire. Apart from staple food items like rice and pulses, prices of commonly used medicines have also shot up. Antibiotics, painkillers and heart condition medication are among the worst hit. Prices have shot up by 40% and they're only going to rise further. It seems inevitable because the government is out of options at this point. The government is also in talks with the International Monetary Fund. Delegation from both sides also met in Washington, D.C., this to make a roadmap out of the existing crises. The high-stakes meeting concluded on the note, first, that there is an immediate need of restoring supply chains. Second, a temporary financing bridge needs to be established, at least till the time a deal with the IMF is not secured. And lastly, focusing on short to medium policies to maintain stability. With its neighbourhood first policy, India is committed to support Sri Lanka with credit lines for petroleum as well as support through multilateral agencies. And our correspondent Dasuni Athoda has been tracking the mass protests in Colombo for the past 1 month. Take a look at this report.
It's been 1 month since protests took a pivotal shift here in Sri Lanka following the protest that took place outside the President's house in Mirihana. Ever since this protest took place, multiple protests are now being reported across the country where people have come in from all walks of life, all professions and civil society statuses to come out and voice their protest against the Gotabaya Rajapaksa-led government. Sri Lanka's economic crisis has since worsened with no solution in sight, and with the finance minister deeply looking at the International Monetary Fund for its only and last solution. However, discussions with the IMF are still at an early stage with no concrete solution still given for Sri Lankan officials by the IMF. Sri Lanka's economic crisis that has now turned into a political crisis has also seen divisions not only among the government but also among the opposition as well as parties within the current government. And as of recent, the latest development is that there appears to be a rift between President Gotabaya Rajapaksa as well as Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, who just refused to come to a common ground with regard to the future governance of Sri Lanka amidst a political as well as an economic crisis. Stay with WION as we bring you the very latest from here in Sri Lanka. Reporting from Colombo, I'm Dasuni Athoda.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.